Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday. If you enjoy this video, hit that like button, and if you want to submit to be on the show, take a look at the information in the description.
I do indeed. It's 2-5.
Okay.
I was 1,200 effective against the particular villain in this hand.
Where's this played out of?
This is in Montreal.
Oh, okay. Montreal
Playground.
at the fuck is it called?
Playground. I don't know if you've heard of it. Playground Poker Club.
I've never been there. I've been to the what is it, Montreal Casino? Do they not have poker? Does that casino still around? Casino Montreal?
Yeah, the casino's still around, but I mean, it's a pale shadow compared to the playground. Like the playground's actually a really great place, especially for tournaments. The tournaments are like insanely soft, and Party Poker has a lot of different events that they host there, and they're really good tournaments. So.
Good to be Canadian. All right, so 1,200 effective, yeah. Montreal Playground, 1,200 Canadian.
1,200 Canadian.
So it's
yeah.
worth a little bit less. When I went up to when I went up to Canada for the first time, well, not for the first time, but when I did my first gig with Poker Road at the end of 2007, number one, the guy that owned the site was Barry Greenson's stepson. They didn't let him in the country. I remember I was with Amanda Leatherman, and I don't know if his brother had a DUI and he stole his Joe's C-Box identity. Anyways, we got stopped by customs. We weren't allowed in. We had to drop Joe back in Buffalo and drive back over the border. And at that time, the Canadian money was worth more than U.S. money at that time, even though they hadn't adjusted the sign, so you'd pay less as the toll for Canadian money coming in, even though it was worth more. Kind of a funny little aside.
Wow.
But anyways, all right, go ahead.
Definitely not the case now. And
yeah.
Probably turned away from Quebec, by the way. Like that was a Quebec-specific thing, probably.
Oh, really? No, it was Niagara Falls.
We call it the Republic of Quebec around here.
Yeah.
I'm from Ontario. I'm not actually from Quebec.
Oh, okay.
But so this is at 2-5.
Yeah.
1,200 effective, and it was a really great table. A lot of pretty great wrecks with pretty decent stacks. We've been playing. It was pretty late in the night, so I was happy to get in kind of light. So I raised King Jack off suit under the gun +1. It's a little light, but a little floppy. But I wanted to get as many hands in with these players as I could.
So 20 or
I raised to 20 under the gun.
Yep.
Under the gun +1. I raised to 20.
Yep.
The villain, who's about in middle position, raises to 45.
So small raise.
Which is interesting. Small raise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't doing this stuff too regularly. I'd seen him do a couple 3-bets pre-flop and showdown jacks, queens one time as well, but nothing too unorthodox.
Yeah.
The button calls, just flats to 45, and then obviously I'm not gonna do anything cute and 3-bet out of position here. I just flat. Flop comes King 7-8.
Wait a minute, hold on a second. So
spades.
Button flats, right?
Yeah.
And hero calls. So, if it was a normal sizing, right? Like if you made it 20 and the 3-bet was to 65 or 70, you're not going to call with King Jack off, obviously, right? In this spot.
Out of position, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically it's basically a min raise, right? The odds are so good.
Yeah, it's definitely a min raise, and then. I mean, you could occasionally throw in here a 4-bet. It's just weird that a bunch of you got a bunch of dead money in here, obviously, right? It's odd.
Yeah, if I'd been on the button, I definitely would have 4-bet. I think. Given that I'm under I'm going to be out of position against a min raise. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if he's clicking buttons, and I just it's just so easy to just flat here and see a flop for so cheap. So.
Right. Okay. So let's go to the flop.
That was. Yeah, so flop comes King of clubs,
mm-hmm.
7 of spades, 8 of spades. So the king's not a spade.
Got it.
Which is going to be significant. We have the jack of spades, so king, jack,
okay.
Jack of spades.
All right, so I'm going to put king of diamonds, jack of spades. Yep.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I check.
Yep.
The villain bets 75.
MP 175. Button folds, okay.
Yeah, so villain bets 75.
Yep. MP 175, right? Button folds, yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then I just flat.
Right, hero calls. Okay, so 3-bet pot, 20, 45, button calls, you call. Pot's probably 140. King 7-8, 2 spades. Without the king of spades, you have the jack of spades. Check, 75, fold, you call. So somewhere around 290 now, and your head's up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Turn brings 5 of hearts.
Five
I
of
just
hearts. Okay.
yeah, 5 of hearts. So
Yeah.
inconsequential for the villain's range, I would imagine. I just check. Villain now bets 100 into 290.
Okay.
I just call.
So now it's 490. So he bet 75 on the flop. He bets 100 on the turn. It sort of seems like he wants to just kind of get to showdown.
Yeah,
Sort of
that
like
was kind of like
these reverse showdown bets. So it's weird because this almost feels like a king queenish type of hand, something like that. I guess it could be some ace king. You'll find sometimes
sometimes.
Well, you'll find sometimes people.
Like I was thinking sometimes jacks or something like that here and there, but like it's kind of weird that he's
right. And what I was gonna say about that though is that you would find those types of sort of protectionish, I'm going to try to get to showdown bets with second pair of the board. Number one, not that frequently you're going to find that three ways. And it's not going to really be on like king high boards. Like it would be more like a guy has jacks and the board comes out like queen deuce three and you check call and the turn's a 7. And he bets again heads up and then he takes a showdown at the end. At least that's my take on it. So I'd be very surprised to see like jacks or queens here, starting with a bet on flop, continuing to bet on turn. But okay, so obviously we're not going to fold here. So not now.
The other thing about that is that like when you have those kind of like blocker, I want to see the end of this hand like really cheaply. Like that's generally when they're out of position, right? Like he bets 100 to just keep it cheap, hoping I'll call it. Like if he's got a marginal hand he's not comfortable with, it's like why is he betting 100 when he can just check it back?
Well, yeah, but they're betting 100 though because they don't want to face a large bet at the end. It's a reverse block, as we call it. Like I said, all these terms are made up, but it's basically giving them their blocking turn in position to give them a showdown, instead of it going check back and then facing a large bet from up front. I mean, I think your hand is just a call here anyways. He bets 100 into 290 and you call, right? So the pot's 490.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the pot's 490. So river brings out a 10 of spades. So the 9 jack gets there and the front door spades get there.
So that should shut the action down, right? I mean.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously I checked. But now what's interesting is that he bets 100 again.
And like button bets. Actually, you know what's interesting here? What's your name again? Dan. I might bluff the river if I were you, but I might do it from as a bet at the end. You were saying, because okay. So here's the thing, like. I mean, I suppose you could say that you have a hint of showdown value here, where sometimes it might go check, but sometimes you can take a bad top pair and bluff with it here at the end. I feel like this run out. I mean, I guess you are opening from +1. I don't know if these guys like hand read, but if you come out and bet like 400 to 450, it's really hard for like king, queen, or ace, king to call. And normally if you check, those hands are just going to check back. And you're going to lose. I know that didn't happen. It's just a thought that I had quickly out of my head. You checked.
Yes, just like lead out like 350 there type thing. Like
maybe 400. Bet 400. Yeah. Bet 400 as a bluff. So you check. Okay.
Yeah, I checked. Because I was like leaning towards like I have some sort of showdown value, but then when he bet 100 again, I just thought. You know, like kind of what you were saying before, it just looked like he felt so uncomfortable with his hand, like he had something, I thought this smells so much like king, queen, or ace, king that's like not really comfortable. And I really thought, man, you know, like I should have just let out and bluffed here, but I didn't. But now, I mean, how strong does a check raise look here? Like I was thinking, this guy's going to just fold ace, king. He's going to fold. I think he's going to fold king, queen here. I mean, a straight got there. The front door flush got there.
So he bet 100. He bet 100 at the river. Is that right? He bet 100.
He bet 100 at the rivers.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing. Like I can make this check raise really cheaply, given that he just like allowed me to by just betting another 100. So
it's really weird, right? That he bets 100. Like I don't even know if like ace king. Yeah, I mean it you know the interesting part here is. Probably calling is probably not. You're probably not going to be good here 1 out of 5 times, right? So
yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like I thought it was a lot of ace kings and king queens.
That he was going to bet 3 times even for, I mean, even though the front doors came in. That he, yeah, I mean, I can see. I can definitely see where you're going with it. I just don't know if it is ace king or king queen. Those hands are checked back so much. You know what I'm saying? Like if he has ace king with the ace of spades, he probably should bet, but a lot of guys don't. So it must be that you're thinking of check raising here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the concept of check raising the river as a bluff normally comes into play, and it's not complex, but a lot of people can't visualize this, like to sort of fit it in, is when you have a hand that has some showdown value. You go for a check raise bluff at the end because some of the time the river will go check check and you'll win with your showdown value. But when your opponent bets, you normally now realize that your hand is no good. So that's why sometimes you turn that into a bluff through a check raise. Whereas it's not a great approach to take like a missed draw and go for a check raise on the river, because if you don't get the check raise in, you lose because it goes check check. So that's the difference, right? You also block some of like the kings up types of hands. So what did you do? You check raised or what?
Yeah, I check raised to 400.
So he bets 100 into 4. Again, it's king of clubs, 7 of spades, 8 of spades, right? In a 3-bet pot, 75 fold call. Turns the 5 of hearts, check 100 into 290. You call, pot's 490. Rivers the 10 of spades, check. He bets 100 into 490, and hero raises to 400.
400.
Which is basically making it like 990, 400 to call. So it's less than a pot size bet. I mean, I guess I can get on board with it. I might go a little bit on the larger side. I'm not convinced when he bets here that he has ace king or king queen. What ended up happening?
It's actually not believable. But so villain raises. So villain 3 bets.
Okay.
All in.
All right.
For 800 total. So, or sorry, 850 total. So another 450.
Another 450. So, I mean, I would imagine that you would fold now, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, now I'm like, but I'm trying to think. I mean, okay, it was ace king of spades, ace queen of spades. He just bet these small feelers to get there on the river. He got there and he just bet 100 like some donkey. Like, what the hell do you have? Like pocket king if I have the king blocker. Did you run the pocket 10? Like, but then why bet 100? So I couldn't. I was like, okay, it's got to be ace king of spades. That makes the most sense. Maybe ace queen of spades.
Right.
I fold.
Ace king of spades would make the most sense to me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He flips over. It's honestly not even believable. He flips over for queens.
Queens?
Queens.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I actually I got up and went. It was hilarious. I went and had a shot. Just laughed with my buddies. I've never seen. I mean, it's literally clicking buttons.
So what did he? You have no idea why he 3-bet queens at the end. Like he didn't think he was bluffing. He just was literally no idea what was going on.
No, he said I don't know. I just felt that you didn't have anything. Was what he said.
That you didn't have anything.
Yeah,
which is really funny, right? Because this is the from a theoretical perspective. If you don't have anything, or if you're very bluff heavy, or you have a strong hand, that is what polarized is, right? So if you have a medium strength hand in your opponent's position with queen, because let's make the assumption that no one's going to be turning a king into a bluff in your spot. It's a very rare play, right? Obviously that you're making. So if you're either bluffing or you have something strong, there would be no reason to raise queen. Like if you have
precisely.
If you have a bluff catching hand or even a second nut hand, even a hand as strong as a second nuts, if your opponent is polarized by making an action that's representing the nuts or a bluff, if you have a second nut hand or a very strong hand, it's always a call. There's no reason to ever raise back against a polarized range. It makes no sense. If the polarized range is the nuts or a bluff, then everything in between that you want to call with is a call. There would be no reason to 3-bet a polarized range. Yeah, that's obviously button clicking, for sure.
Yeah, it was insane.
I wonder what would have happened though if you had upfront bluff like I had suggested. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call in hand, hit the like button down below. If you want to check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA200 to get the first 30 days for free.